Kanye West. People say lots of things about this guy. Best rapper, best producer, best YouTube keyword. But there's one thing that he's known for. Sampling. Sampling has allowed some of the greatest hip-hop tracks to be created, but there's one problem with sampling. It's expensive. Literally, the original artists can charge however much they want. They can charge you $1 billion. And if you don't have that $1 billion, then you don't have your song. But there's one way to bypass this, and that's make your own samples. So today, I'm gonna be showing you how to make soul samples and then flip it into a boom bap track. Let's get into it. Actually, before I start, could you please do me a favor, because my videos have been missing left and right, alright? If you would please like this video, leave a little comment or something, join my Discord so I can get a little community going, that would be great. Anyways, let's get into the video. Alright, the first step to any soul sample is the piano. This piano lays out the foundation for your entire sample, alright? Your bounce, your flow, everything that comes next, alright? What I do here is first I find a chord progression. Make sure your sample is anywhere from like 65 to 80 BPM. To find your chord progression, a lot of people use numbers like 154, this, that, and the other, right? But throw that all out the window. Just find something that sounds good. If you want to stay in scale, click this little arrow, click view, click scale highlighting, and then you can change what scale you're in, right? And just keep all your notes in the white lines, right? Chord progression is the easiest part. You're gonna want to use 7th chords, so it's just a triad but with an extra note on the top, right? Usually if you want to go for like an emotional feel, you can go the 1 and go 5 semitones down, and you get that emotional sound, right? You can start off with something simple. Once you start building that melody a little bit, you'll kind of get a feel for what you want, right? But then you go from this to this. Now this looks way different, right? But all it is, you're using inversions. Just for example, this inversion right here, it's that same chord from earlier, right? But you just grab the 3rd and you raise it up an octave, and you just get a different sound, right? Really, there are no rules. Pretend you know what you're doing, and you should get by. You can play the chords in different octaves at the same time, do some little glides like this, just to play around with it until it sounds good. So after you find your basic melody, you're gonna want to humanize your chords. So like right here, you can see they're like off grid and they're like not playing at the same time, right? Just kind of do that for like all the chords. It gives it that authentic feel. Add some bass notes. This just fills out the frequencies. Here's what the melody sounds like. This type of thing just takes practice. It's not something that you're just gonna pop in your head from a YouTube tutorial. This tutorial will give you a good start, but from there you just gotta practice, honestly. Right. The second thing is you want some sparkle into it. So you're gonna add an electric piano. You're gonna wanna base your melody off of the chords, but also just add some random stuff, alright? Just add some sparkle, alright? There's basically nothing that I'm following here. I'm just adding like random notes. Okay, so you got this basic melody down, and from here you just want to layer, and you're gonna want to add counter melodies. So I'll start with, for simplicity, we'll start with this organ. Here it's just the chords. Here's where I added some counter melody. I added this flute. Now this flute, very simple. It's only in 2 bars, but then we add a saxophone for a call and response. Again, this is the hardest part, is sound selection. You have to find good sounds. If you want sounds like these, I actually made a sound kit from Majestic Melodies called the Majesty Sound Kit. There's over 400 sounds, and it's only 25 bucks, so it's a lot of bang for your buck. It'll be in the link in the description. Go check that out. Alright, after that, I added the saxophone to complement the flute. What I like to do here, you start on one note, but you quickly shift up to the next note, and it just gives it that like jazzy feel. For the strings, I just made it sound good. Like, this is the most repeated phrase ever, but practice makes perfect, and there's no other way to get good at these melodies. There's nothing that you'll learn better from a YouTube tutorial than doing it on your own, alright? I sound like a broken record here, but I do want to get that point across though. a good soul sample, but it's missing one thing. It's a bass, alright? Here, just pretend like you're a really cool person and you like have a bass guitar like on you and you're just playing it. Like just pretend you're cool, alright? And you'll get some pretty cool bass patterns. For the bass, treat it like its own melody, but also follow the bass notes at the same time. Keep it on track, but let it do its own thing as well. Also, for more movement, add these little short notes that stop really quickly. And there you have it. There's our soul sample, right? What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to render that out, highlight, Control-Alt-C, you know, how you render anything out, and then take it to a new project. First of all, you're gonna want to make sure your loop is on stretch mode, and then you're gonna want to up the BPM to anywhere from 80 to 90. You're also gonna want to pitch it up by anywhere from like 200 to 500 cents, just to get that soulful Kanye vibe. Here's what this sounds like now. Also, while you're at it, put it in an EQ and take out the low end, just to give us room for this other bass. And you may be thinking, why would you add a bass on the sample if you're just gonna redo it in the full beat? EQ'd bass gives it that authentic feel. It's how it would be done in a real sample. If you want, you can chop up your sample, but I love the bounce on this original loop, so I just kept it unchopped. Let's get started on the drums. Here, you're gonna want to start on the kick and the snare, just to get that basic bounce, alright? Alright, and something to know before you start is all the drum sounds, you want them to be different velocities. It just gives it that bounce that you need. Here's what I did with the hi-hats, right? I did this quick hi-hat pattern, right? But then I lowered the velocity of every other hi-hat, so it's like really upbeat, but it's not aggressive. Then I added this open hat. This is my favorite part of boom bap tracks. It gives that like crispy sound. And then I added this ride. And then I added this perk. And that's really it for the drums. Now the best part of any hip hop track, the bass. Here I made the bass a lot more simpler than I did on the sample. Same concept as the sample, just keep it a little more glued to the root notes. Now the last step is to arrange the beat. Let's see the full thing. Alright, before I show you the full beat, be sure to like and subscribe, and also join my Discord in the description. I'm trying to start a community there. You can promote yourself, you can make connections, you can do your thing, so go join that. And also while you're in the description, go follow my Instagram so I can get more clout. Here's the full beat.